So the last couple days been pretty busy. I mean, not necessarily out of the ordinary, but just realized recently I was thinking like, man, I really need some time for myself a bit. We've had people staying with us basically for the last week, and just thinking about like, there's people around a lot, which is really cool, but also it's I mean, as many of you know, just hosting and doing things on top of the normal stuff can be exhausting at times, and I was thinking like, oh, this is going to be a bit draining and whatever. And then I just, contemplating about the war going on to the east of us, and the amount of responsibility, the amount of suffering, the amount of just endurance. So many fathers, I mean, people in general, but just as I'm thinking out, about my role as a father, and working and hosting and stuff recently, just like it was almost as God was kind of gently telling me like, hey, there's all these guys going through the ringer right now, and just thinking about surviving, protecting their families, protecting their community, standing up against evil, and the amount of weight and the responsibility that brings is incredible, right? And yeah, that just hit me, and I'm just so thankful for God's continual guidance, for the energy that He provides, and just, there's so much we can do for others. There's so much we can give, and obviously we need to be careful to not do too much. But you see, God is capable of giving us the strength and the energy we need to overcome exhaustion, to overcome the feeling of being overwhelmed, and just putting things in perspective and looking at what's going on, in Ukraine, and now so many families, that are displaced, and all over Europe, and I'm sure that will be something, that'll be affecting Austria more and more in the coming weeks. And one of the things that really is hard sometimes, and where we need wisdom, or where I need wisdom, where I need guidance from the Holy Spirit, is to know, when things like this come up, similar at times with COVID, there was things like that where you got to sort of, I don't know, balance this urgent, need and wanting and desire to help, so many hurting people in Ukraine, and at the same time not forget about the neighbors, the friends, the people from church, the young people in my life that also, need encouragement and support. And I often stretch myself too thin with relationships where I, have so many connections and so many people that I'm kind of connected with, and have some input in their lives. But then there's always the question of, okay, how do I do that effectively? And anyways, there's not really necessarily a solution that I have. It's just kind of what I've been thinking about with this Ukraine thing. And often I guess there is something that's super urgent and needs our attention right away, and that's where God might be pointing a lot of us to. But there's also at the same time like the idea of not forgetting about who's around us and the people that need our support, that are part of our daily lives. And I guess my prayer is for wisdom to know how to balance that, and where to get involved. And I guess as I'm just thinking about it, and one of the keys is, I guess, doing things like this together. How can we collectively help in a situation like this? How can I take some of the youth maybe along with this, or us as a youth group in general, be involved in maybe support some of the things, and some of the people from Ukraine who are being displaced, who are in need. There's a lot a lot to think about with this, and as I just realize my own lack of wisdom often in these situations. Anyways, that's kind of all I got today, and I hope you guys also are listening for the Spirit's guidance during this time. Those of you who are walking with Jesus, and I will talk to you later.